Ian was on the island. So like Ian stuck up for me or stood up for me somehow, right? Accumulated time on that pole was
Yeah.
45 minutes. I busted my elbow the night before. Jimmy kind of came up to all of us and was like, "Who do you think's gone?" I was like, "I'm gone. I hated you on the show. And then I came to your Instagram and you're so inspiring. I'm sorry for judging you." No one gets to their lowest immediately. It's built up through a spiral. So I was like, I have to help other unfulfilled, unhappy, miserable human beings make the same switch I did. My goal is to impact millions. The happier each human being is, the better the world is going to be to live in.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Behind the Beast, where we get to know the contestants on Beast Game Season 2, Strong versus Smart.
Hey guys, I'm Bryleigh. I am number 194 on Beast Game Season 2, and I am a life coach who focuses on mindset and confidence.
So now, you coach under the motto, "Don't be a bitch." So how did you choose that specific phrase and motto, and what does it mean to you personally?
This is a good question, actually. I created Don't Be a Bitch 7 years ago now. That was kind of when I started shifting my personal life around of just being extremely negative, validating myself through external things,
Yeah.
right? Just realizing it wasn't like a super fulfilling life at the end of the day. So when I started kind of shifting my mindset and thought processes and how I think, how I act, and all of that, I was writing a blog at the time, and I was trying to come up with a name for the blog. I actually didn't come up with "Don't be a bitch." My boyfriend did,
Hey, nice.
which yeah, it actually resonated perfectly because I mean, at the end of the day, yes, like be a good human, don't be a bitch to other people, right? Like just be genuine, be kind. But at the end of the day, it really just means fulfillment for myself, right? Like happiness is a choice at the end of the day. And I set out a mission for myself. Like I just want to be a fulfilled human being at the end of the day and wake up excited about what I do. So it all don't be a bitch is really like more of an internal dialogue that I
Sure.
speak to myself to kind of help guide my actions and decisions and thought processes throughout the day to like end the day feeling fulfilled, right? So,
Sure.
um, yeah, that's how that came about.
So you said that 7 years you were still struggling with kind of like self-doubt yourself. So was kind of confidence coaching, lifestyle coaching, a way for you to also start believing in yourself, or did you have to take some time to first believe in yourself, and then once you learned those methods, that's when you started introducing them to other people?
Yeah, I didn't do anything until I did it for myself. It really started for a couple years, like me doing things on my own, and then I became a very big Jay Shetty fan. And then I took his life coaching course, and that's when like my life completely flip flopped. Nothing changed except for the way I speak to myself and my perspective on the world.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm like the happiest person ever that I'd ever been, right? So I was like, I actually had a sales job for 8 years, and when that happened, like my complete flop of
Mhm.
or flip of mindset and thought processes, I was like, I have to help other unfulfilled, unhappy, miserable human beings make the same switch I did. So I literally just up and quit my job. I'm like, I don't care if I have 0 clients or 30 clients. I gave myself 6 months after I graduated. I was like, 'cause I need other people to do the same thing. Like I just need the world to be a happier place to be in. So no, I until I was able to do it for myself, I didn't start coaching and taking on clients until I had a framework that worked for me. And then now I kind of just adjust it and um customize it based on other human beings' needs.
Now, also on your website, you talk about your long battle with self negativity. So, what is the exact moment that made you decide, like, oh, okay, I need to actually stop being hard on myself?
Yeah, so I've been extremely negative to myself since I was a child. I have this thing, and like I can openly talk about this now, but I used to lie about it my
Mhm.
entire life until I was 26 years old. But I have a thing called trichotillomania. It's a hair pulling disorder.
Mhm.
And I pulled out my eyelashes as a kid, so I literally had zero
Oh,
eyelashes as a kid. So I was made fun of like all the time.
sure.
So it was always like I feel ugly, I feel this. Like if people are jabbing at me, it's like, well, you don't have any eyelashes. So it was like
Yeah.
it was always a jab thing. So I was always very negative on myself for that. And um, so I realized like everything I started growing or learning was I felt good with external validation, right? Like I felt good, like I was a very high level gymnast. Gymnastics was kind of like my escape as a kid from like
Mhm.
getting out of being made fun of all the time because I was a very, very naturally talented gymnast. So like that was kind of like my out and my escape. Um, so everything was I was never able to like validate myself who I was as a human. It was always like based on performance and athletics my entire life. And so the negativity started when I was a very young kid, and then just kind of seeing somebody else live it was actually my boyfriend who kind of inspired like uh just how he lives and how he talks to himself, and like the perspective he has on every human being in the world is like,
Yeah.
how do you do that? And like that's what inspired me of like, wow, it's really just a choice in how you think to like
Sure.
completely change your life. So it's really just understanding and realizing that like happiness is a choice based on your thoughts and your mindset, not external, anything external.
Sure. Yeah. I love that. That's so cool. So now, when someone is at their lowest, how do you actually coach someone outside of that mindset whenever they're stuck in that internal self-deprecation loop and cycle?
Yeah, so it's a good question. And this is like the funnest part of my job because no one human thinks and acts the same, right? So
Sure.
this is really like just all about breaking patterns, right? It's like really learning how and when to interrupt like habitual thought processes, right? No
Mhm.
one gets to their lowest immediately. It's built up through a spiral. Um, during a specific time frame, right? So I actually help people get familiar with their spiral instead of avoiding it, right?
Mhm.
So like a lot of people act shocked every time that this happens, right? Like, why am I here again?
Mhm.
But the spirals are actually extremely predictable, and they follow patterns. So I help people like kind of identify what rock bottom, right, kind of feels like before they get there. So then, like what the thought processes and behaviors are that usually follow that lead to that rock bottom or lowest.
Mhm.
And that like awareness kind of like becomes the trigger, right? It's like in that moment, like, oh, I'm in this place again, right? It's a feeling, it's a thought, it's whatever it is. So like helping people create an awareness or a trigger of, oh yeah, here I am again, right? And then um that recognition alone can help interrupt like the negative momentum that like normally follows.
Sure.
So it's really all about breaking patterns, but creating enough awareness in the moment to be able to interrupt the thought process or pattern or action or behavior that usually follows that creates the spiral.
So now, if someone is very like intrigued by what you're saying and they're possibly interested in setting up a lifestyle or confidence coaching session with you, what's the best way to reach out? Feel free to plug yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Just DM me. DM me. I do offer a free discovery call. Like I'm never going to coach somebody if I don't feel like I'm a good fit for them, or they feel like, whatever. We go through a good 30, 45-minute conversation. I hear about what you're trying to change, whatever it might be, personal, professional, kind of tell you about my framework and my coaching style and how I approach things. And then at the end of the call, we're a good fit. Then we go over packages and all of that. But yeah, it's a free initial discovery call just to make sure we both feel like we're the best fit for each other.
So now, you competed in gymnastics for 15 years. So what lessons from there do you still carry into any competition that you go into today?
It's not even just competition, but my biggest thing that I have learned and gained, and it's a very hard skill for a lot of people to learn is discipline, right? Like doing things when you don't feel like it.
Mhm.
I was a gymnast for a very long time. I was a level 10 gymnast when I was 10 years old. So I was a level 10 gymnast for 8 years. So I homeschooled for 2 years for gymnastics. I would wake up, I would do gymnastics from 7:30 to 10:30 in the morning. I would go to school from 11 to 2, and then I would come back from 3:30 to 7:30. So I was doing gymnastics for 7 hours a day. Um, so as a child, like you don't always feel like going and doing that, right? And just like
Sure.
people today, like working out or going to work, right? We don't feel like doing it, but I learned the skill of discipline very well as a child of I have to go because I have goals, right? Like I really had specific goals for gymnastics. So also, I mean, as a very high level athlete and you don't feel like going, your parents are like, no, you're going, right? So
Sure.
like there's also some of that being shoved onto you, which is fine. Like I without discipline, it like life is hard to get through without discipline because we don't feel like doing much anymore, right? With a lot of things. So yeah, just having like a huge amount of discipline is the best thing that I've ever gotten from gymnastics.
You transitioned into CrossFit and grid. So I personally I know a little bit about CrossFit, but I don't know too much about grid. So can you walk us through both of those different workouts and what's the benefit of each?
Yeah, absolutely. So I found CrossFit. I after gymnastics was over, I kind of was like in limbo for 6 months. It was a very depressing. I gained a lot of weight. It's 6 months, and then I found CrossFit. So I found CrossFit very early on when it was still pretty new in 2012. Um, And the difference is, so I've been doing CrossFit, like I train CrossFit. It was made for as a training methodology to help like combat certain diseases and stuff. Like it is a very, very well-rounded fitness regimen just to get in good general health. But
Sure.
it is kind of shifted into the sport aspect. And CrossFit is all about finding the fittest people in the world, right?
Sure.
Grid is completely different. Grid doesn't give a shit who is fit. Grid is built for entertainment, just like, and it's another sport, just like football, basketball, soccer. It is a sport built for entertainment. Like it is not, we're not trying to find the fittest person on earth. We're trying to find the best team. Um, and the coolest part about Grid is, unlike CrossFit, you're going to sit there and watch somebody work out for sometimes 20 to 30 minutes, and you're going to watch 20 people doing the same thing, right? Grid is very like high pace, high intense, like 5 minutes max, like, and it's a foot race. And the
Wow.
difference the biggest difference between CrossFit and Grid is CrossFit, you have to be extremely well-rounded with everything. You've got to be good at strength, you've got to be good at gymnastics, you've got to have an engine. Grid, you just do what you're good at. Like that is it. You are
Sure.
solely, it is a very individualized sport where like you were going to have 280-pound strongmans doing the barbells, and then you're going to have, 90-pound female gymnasts coming out and doing the gymnastic stuff,
So
the
choose
body
your own
weight stuff.
adventure, basically. Yeah.
It is so
Okay.
fun. Yeah. So really you go out and you sprint for like 30 seconds and you get your ass out and you tag the next person in. Like it is a
Yeah.
foot race and it's head to head against the other team. So that's the biggest difference. And it's a massive team, whereas CrossFit, like it's not, there are team CrossFits, but it's really finding the fittest individuals, right? Grid, you have up to 20 people, 10 guys, 10 girls on one team. So it is very different in many ways. We do a lot of the same movements, so people do correlate it to CrossFit, but it's not the same by any means. So while CrossFit is workouts, Grid isn't a workout, it's a race. Um, so yeah, as far as the benefits go, I mean, entertainment versus fittest on earth, right? Grid is very entertaining, high pace, and like the biggest one of the coolest things about Grid is there are guys and girls on the same team. Like they're trying to represent like equality amongst men and women in sports. There's no other sport in the world where men and women compete on the same team and share the same barbells, do the same movements or
Yeah. Yeah.
anything. So yeah, that's the kind of a small kind of bit about what Grid and or how the difference between CrossFit and Grid.
For those that are wanting to do very similar events within Grid, so like for example, in gymnastics, do you have like different events within gymnastics that both like any gender can like go and do?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the
Okay.
coolest
Okay.
part about it. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
have your male body weight and your female body weight, right?
Yeah.
So like depending on what race, every race has different set of rules, but you'll
Yeah.
have, there is one race specifically called Jack and Jill where it's strictly body weight specialists,
That's cool.
right? So
Yeah.
you'll have your guy and girl out on the grid at the same time. So a guy will do his reps and then a girl will
Yeah.
come and do her reps while the other guy goes and gets another gymnast. So yeah, that's what's cool about the equality piece of it. Like you're doing the same movements as the
Yeah.
guys for a lot of it. Yeah.
And focus on what you're passionate about. That's honestly super fun.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah.
So now going on to Beast Games and competing there, how do you see that experience influencing how you coach afterwards?
Um, Again, my goal is to impact millions, to just have a fulfilled, like a happier world. The happier each human being is, the better the world is going to be to live in, right? So I am getting an influx of people resonating with my message and some of my posts and my captions and what I'm about and what I'm trying to help with and the impact I'm trying to create. So it's definitely influencing, like in a very, very good way. Like I'm even getting people that say, I hated you on the show, and then I came to your Instagram and like read through all of your posts and you're so inspiring. I'm sorry for judging you. So yeah, it is influenced a lot. I mean, especially after this last episode aired, I got the most screen time on this last episode, obviously. So there was like an
Yeah.
influx of people like keep inspiring, right? So
Yeah.
it's helping a lot for sure.
I think that is a big thing. Like the show, they only have such a limited time to show off people's personalities. So just because certain moments happen on the show, that does not define who a person is. One action, one quote, sometimes whenever you're the most frustrated, that doesn't define who you are as a person internally. So I hope when people see
Right.
this, and we'll talk about some of the things that happen on the show, and you can explain in more thought what exactly happened. So excited for
Yeah.
that. So now you, Tyler Davis, and Ian were such a strong alliance on Beast Games. So can you talk to me about those first few days? I'm assuming in Vegas where you all met each other.
Yeah, it's just funny. We actually did a podcast, or not a podcast, a YouTube thing, because Ian has his own show that we're doing behind the
Yeah,
scenes, and we talked about this yesterday. Obviously the first you were there in the first couple of days, like they were like they wanted us on hard ice like
yeah, yeah,
in Vegas, right? For most of it. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. You're spending tens of millions of probably way more than that on this, right? So like
mhm,
when they're telling us to be on hard ice, I'm like, well, I don't want to get myself in trouble and get booted for talking to someone when they just asked me not to talk, right? So it's
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Me and Ian sat at a table together at lunch, and we were supposed to be on hard ice. And Ian's like talking to me, and I'm like trying not to like talk as much because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't
yeah,
know
yeah,
who I'm dealing with, right? I
yeah,
don't want to get booted for something so stupid. So Ian even said yesterday, he's like, I didn't know if you liked me or if you hated me. You weren't talking, and I'm like, well, I didn't want to get in trouble. So I met Ian at the lunch within on the first day, and that's kind of when we started building that connection. And then when we were able to talk, like Ian was kind of my first and go-to. And then when we were on hard ice, he was kind of the one where like you're talking to someone through eye contact and playing stupid water bottle games and all of that.
yeah,
So Ian was like my number one from the get-go. And then Ian met Tyler and got to know Tyler really well, and then brought him over to me and like introduced me. So I'm like, well, if Ian likes him, like I'm gonna like him, right? He's like my
yeah, yeah.
my man right now. So yeah, that's how that all happened. It was like first weekend.
So it seems like, yeah, you guys developed, especially with Ian, such a strong bond. So whenever Ian came back from the island, and there was all this chit chat saying that Ian was going to prioritize his island folks over you specifically, he called out your name specifically. How did that make you feel, and how did you mentally go about that?
I was confused at first, right? Because JC was the first person to come up to me, and he didn't mention any names. He just said, "You have just watch out. Your name was put out there in a very specific
Sure.
way.
Hmm.
So just watch out." And so I was like, I was so confused, but I was like, Ian was on the island, so like regardless, Ian stuck up for me or stood up for me somehow, right?
Hmm.
And then Ian sat me down. He's like, "Hey, so I told them this." Right. I was also confused because Ian didn't communicate very clearly. So I was even still a little bit confused. I was like, do I trust this
Sure.
guy or do I not trust? I'm so confused. But then like just getting to know Ian on the first weekend, like and through eye contact when we're not talking, like I know he's a genuine human being. So like when we were getting into the cubes, it was just confusion. Right, because you really don't know these people. Like you don't know anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
You think you know people, but like it's just because we're in like a warped reality that you think you know somebody. So it's like even though I trusted him, I was just it was confusion more than mistrust or anything else.
So Ian truly was the person who came up to you and told you everything that happened. It wasn't because that he did say that he would tell Bryleigh 100% of what happened, and he actually was the first person to do so in full
Yeah,
context.
yeah,
Sure, sure, sure.
yeah,
So I'm assuming that also like probably opened up a lot of the trust because if he really was trying to hide something, he would try to like sneak or manipulate kind of part of what happened. So
yeah, for sure.
okay, so now going into the cubes, I'm sure you had like some doubts in the back of your mind, but you had to choose a team, and Ian was kind of wanting to get on the team with you and Tyler. So, what eventually caused you to kind of trust him fully and go into the team with him?
Tyler gave me some extra reassurance because I'm like, do I trust this person going in here? Because again, I was like
Sure.
super confused, and I kind of felt like um all eyes were on Ian based on
Hmm.
something he said. Like nobody actually wanted to go in the queue with Ian, which was weird. So I'm like, it made me like a little iffy. But I also know like he didn't come off to me as someone super stingy. Like he's like he told me in Vegas like I'm gonna get my bag and I'm out, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like and so like in my head I'm like I feel like he's a very genuine, trustworthy human being and like he has his bag. So like I
yeah.
think he's gonna self-eliminate. Like he didn't tell me necessarily before he went into the cube that he was gonna do that. But Tyler kind of gave me a little extra reassurance, like you need to be on our team. Like you
Sure,
need to
yeah.
go into that cube with us, right? So then I was like, oh, okay. Like I'm putting pieces together that are like not making any sense based on someone I don't know. Like even though I don't know Ian like a lot, right? I've only
Hmm.
known him for 3 weeks at this point, basically. I'm like, I can't trust someone, JC, at that point, that I don't know. I've talked to him never.
Hmm.
So I was like, I'm just gonna go with my gut instinct and just know that these two dudes are who they've been the entire time and they're not gonna do me wrong. So yeah.
So I'm curious in a hypothetical world where JC and Ian were at a tribal and JC ended up winning. So Ian still said what he said. He said that he was going to take the island people over yourself. Do you think him not winning the money would have changed how he thought about it? Because then you would still like he would still have that motivation to win at that point.
100%, a hundred
Really?
percent. Yeah, I think if JC would have won that island, Ian would have been like, let's not get a cube together.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Because he would have fought till the end. I think me, him, and Tyler all would have been like, okay, none of us have money. Let's make sure we're not in a
Yeah.
cube, so that way we have a chance to like come back as a
All three of
unit,
us to get
right?
something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's obviously a lot that they cannot show about the cubes. You guys were there for hours upon hours. So can you talk to us about some moments that weren't shown on TV that you really want to shout out?
Yeah, oh my gosh, we had a blast in the cubes. Like once I got in the cubes and understood the reality of what was about to happen, we were like, okay, we're gonna create the funnest last hours together.
Yeah.
Um, we we had so many fun competitions that they didn't show. Like we had a handstand contest, we had a handstand push-up contest, we had a
Ooh.
Hot Wheels race contest. Like
Ooh. Okay.
Ian fell out of the cube. Like we had a handstand contest to the point where Ian like ate shit so hard he fell out of the cube. Jimmy walked in on me when I was doing handstand push-ups. I don't know how they
Yeah.
didn't show that. So if you see my hair's like all whacked out because I was just bouncing off my head for
Yeah.
a minute. Obviously we ate good food. We had Drewski come in, and this was actually super funny too. Drewski opened up the massage table and hit himself like like so hard, hit him in the head. I'm like, oh my God, like did he just break his jaw? So he's like
No.
freaking out. Drewski like for like 5 minutes was like, oh God, my face. Surprised I didn't show that with how
Yeah.
dramatic he made it. It was hilarious. We also I ordered a disposable camera, and I'm so bummed. I hope we get them. They promised. Maybe this is like good. Like they need to see this. They promised
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
Tyler, and Ian. We all took selfies with Jimmy, individual
Aw.
selfies, like a group selfie. And they were like, after that episode airs, we'll send you the pictures. Um, so yeah, we did a lot of fun stuff, but it was all for fun. Like we knew the outcome before we went in, so it made it
Sure. Yeah.
extremely easy. Like I know some of those cubes were like heart racing, pounding, right? Ours was extremely, extremely easy. Sucked to see Ian go, but at the end of the day, like he said he was going to do what he did, and I would have done the same thing if I got a 1.8, you know? So
Yeah, yeah. You
yeah,
can't be disappointed with the 1.8 million. Like you're
right,
like, okay, yeah, I
right,
had fun.
right.
Going into the rope challenge that happened in episode 6, you walked in very confidently as both you and Monica were gymnasts, but at the end of the day, you had to let go before her. So I'm just curious, as a gymnast yourself, what do you think was the defining force that helped Monica get the edge over you in that challenge?
um, I busted my elbow the night before. So like going into that, I felt confident enough because I know bigger dudes can't hold on to a
Yeah.
rope, like a pole or a rope as long as me, regardless. So like I was confident in beating the dudes, but I did know Monica was gonna be I knew it was gonna be me and Monica at the end. It was just a
Yeah.
fact
Yeah.
of like, can I hold on? I actually got surgery on my elbow after Beast Games because of the night before I busted my elbow. So that's why like when you see me, like I'm not using my arms because I knew my like I woke up that morning before that challenge, my elbow was just like blown up. So I was like, I just got to figure out how to use my legs as efficiently as possible to like save my bicep. And I did very well at that. But at the end of the day, like my leg went numb, and I thought I had the confidence enough to like, okay, if I give my legs a break and use my biceps at the bottom of that, I'll be able to pull myself back up. And then like my arm just said, nope. My bicep was like, nope, your fat ass ain't getting back up that. Like,
Because you
so
two were up there for the final round, I heard for like 25 to 30 minutes, somewhere around that time period.
they told us we were up, like we were in accumulative time on that pole was
Yeah.
45 minutes.
That is wild.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I can imagine it was basically like between the two of you, it was mainly silence because you were just like locked in that entire time.
Yeah. And like just trying to like maneuver like how do I use my legs as much as possible to like not completely blow out my bicep because it was already at like
Yeah.
0% capacity and energy to like hold up my body weight. So, but it was my favorite challenge. Like by
Sure.
far, it
Yeah.
was so fun. I love heights, especially when I'm attached to something. Like that was fun. Like I was excited to fall. Like I just wanted to run and jump. Like when I got up there, like I wanted to like run and bungee jump. But yeah, it was a very good challenge. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, and people are like, people on the internet, like, why'd you fall? Why'd you trust her? I didn't fall like on purpose. Like,
Because
I
it did look
legitimately,
like you let go. Yeah, like just like,
I
okay, I
know.
trust Monica. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely edited that. So like I will give Mona credit. She did beat me on that challenge.
Yeah.
But if we were today, I have a brand new elbow. I don't think she
There
beat
you
me, but
go.
no, I will give it to Monica. She did fairly win that challenge. I know the editing made it look like that, but nah, at the end of the day, she definitely beat me at that, unfortunately.
So during the tile pattern challenge, Jim called you out for making the competition about gender. And personally, watching that as a viewer and like knowing about the alliances on the show, I found that kind of ironic because literally your two biggest alliance members were both men. So I was like, okay. So I kind of want to get into your head and find out like what was missing there. Can you walk us through what the audience missed from the edit?
Yeah, so obviously they've created that edit to make it look like and honestly, if anybody has a better name to call it, please help a girl out because that's the only thing I could come up with. But at the end of the day, I didn't know the guys for shit, right? Like the only thing that I know is Nick was trying to become a professional wrestler. That is it. I don't know what August does. I don't know if he's married. I don't know if he has kids. I don't know what he does, where he lives. I have no idea. Jack, I have no freaking clue. I know he's a baby. That's all I know. Brett doesn't speak at all. So like I know shit about Brett. Like I hardly know Corey. I know he is very big family man, but other than that,
Yeah,
like and I know he lives in Tampa, but like other than that, I don't know. Um, I know Katie to an extent of like I know what she does for a career. I know what her hobbies are as far as her reptiles and her exotic plants and what she's trying to do in life and where she's trying to go. I know all about Hannah and her living situation. She opened up very clearly about her living situation. Um, I got to know Katie very well when I got stuck on I didn't know Katie at all until I got stuck in the city with her. And then I
hmm,
got to know her and her backstory and about her family and her brother-in-law. Um, so it was genuine, like that's all the girls. Like I know the
yeah,
girls
yeah,
very well, right? So I said girls, like my bad.
yeah,
The good thing about it is like I know who I am to my core. Everybody who
yeah,
knows me knows who I am to my core. Like it is, I have nothing against guys. My life coaching business is like 80 to 85% of my clients are middle-aged men trying to just be better for themselves and their families. Like,
for
right?
sure.
So like a lot of my clients are males. I own a grid league team where it's like all about gender equality. Like I know who I am. So like is the millions of literally millions of views and thousands of comments that I'm getting hate like affect me zero because I know who I am and the message I'm trying to spread and it has like I'm trying to do the complete opposite of that in every single way, shape, and form. So it came down to me and Jim were probably going back and forth for at least 10 minutes and like he didn't hear me, right? Like I explained how I know the girls way better than the guys and he just kept coming back to it's girls against guys, it's girls against guys. And like at some point I'm like I have explained myself in every single way I could possibly think of to
Yeah,
show you this is not girls against guys. This is just and we're in a pod with girls, right? Like it is split. The pods are split. So like I
yeah,
got to know them a lot more and talk to them and had literally tens more, like at least 50 extra conversations with them than I did with the guys. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like it doesn't matter how I explained it to him, he kept turning it into guys against girls. And I'm like, I don't know what else to say. So then I did the little bit, which I'm also getting shit for. I'm like, okay, at this point, like I don't know what else to say because can we just get on with this challenge? Like I don't know what to say. Like, and everybody
yeah,
else up there knows me. Like that Jim was just like repeating himself. Like it was like a drunk person, like repeating himself,
yeah.
repeating himself, repeating himself. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't know what else to do or say. But like now I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Because I will say, even as
So
someone like we didn't get to know each other very personally in the city too much. I started to get to know Ian and Tyler like the day before I got eliminated, so I probably would have eventually gotten to know you more. But the
mhm.
one thing I could tell is like I was very shocked by the way that edit happened because I was like, that does not seem like even knowing you minimally, I was like, that does not seem what Bryleigh thinks. So I hope the audience, yeah, you really look at that as like literally her main alliance is with two other guys. So yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, and the other thing about it is like I was in that city for 35 days. You guys saw me for 10 minutes on a reality
yeah,
TV show, right? You
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
see what I did in the back end and like who I
yeah.
helped. Like the and I said this on Ian's YouTube yesterday, but I'll repeat it just because I think it is like pretty important. Like I got to know Jim on one very genuine, deep conversation that I don't think anybody in the city outside of Monica got to know him. Everybody
Mhm.
sees him as the goofy on camera dude, right? And I had a very probably a 30-minute conversation with him about, why he's on the show, because like I with what I do is as he makes it come off extremely funny, right? Like I knew that dude is hurting because he kept saying there's nothing outside of these walls. Like if you replay the stuff on the screen, like he kept saying like at least 50 times, there's nothing outside of these walls for me. Like I want to live in B City. Like there's nothing outside in the world for me. Like, and I'm like, that's like a cry for help to me, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So like why what is going on? It's like I had a very good, genuine conversation with him about why, what, where, when, how.
Mhm.
And after that conversation, like I tried to help him flip his perspective on life and like,
Yeah.
this is not reality. Like you have to go outside of these walls when this show is over. So like I tried to help him, like, because I genuinely like empathize with like what he has done in his life that like made him feel that way, right? So it's like I tried to like help him, and he thanked me after that conversation. Like it was a genuine thank you, and like it's not
Yeah.
a gym that anybody sees on the screen.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so it's very unfortunate that it led to what it did. But I mean, again, it is what it is. But then also, like Tyler, like Big Tyler had a falling out with Vance, and he came up to me, right, and was like, I too harsh on Vance?" And
Sure.
I'm like, "Yes." Like that dude is not like if you got to know Vance, like he is also like a very like unstable mind. And so like I thought Tyler handled it very inappropriately, very rude, and
Mhm.
Vance is not someone who doesn't take things personally. So like Vance was crying at some point, right? And I talked to Vance about this, and then like Tyler came up to me out of everybody, like he didn't go up to the guys because the guys would have been like, "Fuck Vance," and he came up to me of everybody,
Mhm.
right? And I'm like, if I wouldn't have told Tyler, like, yes, I think you were too harsh on Vance, like they would have never become friends again.
Yeah,
Tyler
yeah.
would have been like, "Screw you." But like I said, yes, like I think you should apologize. And they become like best friends after that, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah, it's unfortunate, like the way it's like how much behind the scenes is not shown. But again, like to me, I know who I am to my course. Like it doesn't hurt me. Like people can think what they want of me and say what they want of me and assume things based on clips that are spliced and 10 minutes of showtime. But I'm good. Like I don't take the hate for anything. If anything, it's good because it is bringing the people that actually want and need the help from me. So, yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad that people are at least like taking the time to look at your profile and be like, oh, okay, maybe she's better than the TV show showed. So
Yeah. Yeah.
watching this as a viewer, I genuinely felt the pain in your voice whenever Monica said sorry that she had to eliminate you, and you responded with "No, you're not." And yeah, I could hear like kind of the tears that you're kind of holding them back. So can you kind of walk us through everything that went on in your head before that moment actually happened, and everything that happened after your heart was officially smashed?
I knew I was getting eliminated. Like if they didn't show it, but when Jimmy before that happened, Jimmy kind of came up to all of us and was like, "Who do you think's gone?" I was like, "I'm gone." Like,
Yeah,
Jimmy's like, you think you're gonna make it through?" I was like, "No, like no chance. Like there's just
yeah,
no way." So like I knew I was gone. The it I wasn't holding back tears. That was me holding back very, very old Bryleigh, who would
yeah,
have
sure.
negatively responded and called Monica all the names in the book. The "No, you're not" was more of like I just don't do fake, right?
Sure.
Like
Okay, okay, okay.
don't like it's already over, right? Just say, "Yo, I don't like you. You're my biggest competition. You're the best athlete in here, like the most versatile athlete. I don't like the way you X, Y, whatever it might have been." Like I would have just appreciated that more than the fake "I'm sorry" and the fake, like she legitimately faked that tear. Like you can like when you see her little smirk, I'm like, wow, you should
Yeah,
be an actor. You can literally fake cry. Like you
yeah,
could probably be a millionaire just by acting. But no, it wasn't me holding back tears. It was me like again, this is like as someone who is like shifted and like not allowed. Like I used to behave in a way that I hated. So like it was really like how do I want to make sure that like I don't regret saying something. So like "No, you're
sure.
not" was like the best thing I could come up with. Just to I don't know. It felt real. It was real, right? She wasn't sorry. So um yeah. Just wanted to respond in a way that I wouldn't regret when I watched that
Sure.
episode. Yeah.
All right, and to finish things off, we're gonna do some rapid fire questions. Are you ready, Briley?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Tough love or gentle reassurance?
Ooh, always gentle reassurance until I get to know somebody. And people
Sure.
respond differently. So it always starts with gentle reassurance, and depending on the person and their personality and how they take things, tough
Yeah.
love. Possibly.
Some people need it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
cool. Now, what is one word people misuse when describing confidence?
Ooh, that's a good question. Oh, know it all. Like I think confidence is having confidence in not knowing thing. Like just having the
Ooh,
confidence in yourself that when you don't know something, you're gonna figure it out.
I
So that
like
was
that.
hard to do in like a one word, but like
Yeah.
I have a lot of confidence in things that I am not confident in, right? So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
really that piece of it.
Oh, that's so cool. I know. I like it. Yeah, because I feel like if you try to pretend that you know something, you're kind of just like insecure. But like if
Yeah,
you own, it's like, oh yeah, I don't know that. Can you tell me more about that? That comes off way more confident. So yeah,
yeah. Own it, and then if you don't know it, say I don't know it, but I'm gonna figure it out as soon as
yeah.
freaking possible. Like that's confident. Like be confident in not being confident.
That's such a cool answer. I like that.
Thank
Now, what is
you.
one habit that changed your life the most?
Discipline,
Sure.
discipline. Doing things when I don't feel like it.
Love that. Now, what is the hardest thing to coach someone out of?
Mm, lack of self belief.
Hmm. You think that's like the most defining force that you have to like talk through whenever you're doing your coaching?
Yeah, a lot of people do not have self confidence and self belief in themselves. To again,
Hmm.
it comes to it comes to the confidence piece of like not
Yeah,
knowing and just having the confidence and belief in yourself to figure it out. Right,
sure,
trial and error until you figure it out. A lot of people quit way too easy. I think so.
sure.
Coaching people. Sorry, it was coaching someone out of. Uh, so I think I actually reversed that question, but hopefully it made sense.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. It made sense to me.
Okay, okay,
Cool.
okay.
And then, what is the main thing that Beast Games has added to your life outside of the friendships?
uh, extreme, like I was already like becoming extremely patient human being,
Mhm.
but like extra patience.
All the days of doing
Wow.
nothing. Yeah.
Wow. And the days of doing nothing, the people who you know you're not going to hang out with after this, but you got to hang out with them day in and day out.
Yeah.
Yeah, patience. I got extreme patience out of Beast Games.
Fair enough. Well, Bryleigh, thank you again for joining me today. It is honestly generally so good to like get to know you more. And thank you for the audience for watching another episode of Behind the Beasts.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you for watching another episode of Behind the Beasts. It genuinely means the world to me. Now, for those who do not know, we are also doing a fundraiser across the entirety of the series for Major Connections. It is a foundation created by Gloria, one of the other contestants on the show, and its purpose is to provide resources as well as a sense of community for those with disabilities, both kids and adults, in rural communities. Now, oftentimes in major cities, they have the funds to be able to provide these resources, but smaller cities do not, and that is what Major Connections aims to solve. If you want to learn more about Major Connections, check out the link in the description. If you have the financial means to do so, please donate to the cause. And if you don't at this moment, that's okay. Please share it with your friends and family. But for now, thank you for taking the time to watch Behind the Beasts, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.